Commander Xylar had traveled across countless star systems. He had seen worlds where entire civilizations lived inside gas clouds, planets where cities floated on molten metal, and oceans that glowed with the light of living crystals. He had faced creatures that could crush a starship with a flick of their tentacle, and he had met species that lived for centuries in silent harmony. He thought he had seen everything the galaxy could offer, and then he arrived on Earth. From orbit, Earth looked peaceful. Blue oceans stretched across its surface, broken only by green lands that rose like islands in a sea of water. Humans were small, fragile creatures, yet their cities were bright and bustling, their technology far surpassing what many older civilizations had achieved. Xylar's first thought was that this planet was easy to underestimate. His ship descended toward the ocean, guided by the soft hum of Earth's magnetic fields. Below he could see a floating research city, massive platforms supported by structures that reached deep into the water, and around it creatures swam, some familiar, like whales and sharks, but others he had never seen before, moving with a grace and intelligence that made him pause. A docking signal blinked and Xylar's ship locked into place. As he stepped into the station, he was greeted not by armed guards or intimidating officials, but by a human woman in a white uniform. Her eyes were sharp and curious, and she extended a hand in greeting. "Welcome to Oceana Station," she said. "I'm Dr. Lena Royce. You're here to observe our ocean pets, correct?" Xylar raised an eyebrow. "Pets? You call those creatures pets?" Lena smiled. "Not like dogs or cats, but they are trained, cared for, and bonded with humans. You'll see." He followed her through the corridors, noting the architecture. Transparent walls allowed him to see the water outside, where enormous shapes moved gracefully. It was unlike any aquarium or terrarium he had ever seen. These creatures were free to move, yet they followed patterns and responded to the humans in ways that seemed almost magical. They arrived at the first observation dome. Inside, a massive creature glided through the water. Its body was long and elegant, with fins that shimmered in shades of blue and purple. It had the face of a seahorse, but larger, almost the size of a small ship. "This is an aquilith," Lena explained. "They are gentle, intelligent, and they form strong bonds with humans. Watch." She raised her hand and the aquilith responded. It turned slowly, gliding toward her, its enormous eyes studying her carefully. Then it curled around a floating platform, moving with a precision that seemed choreographed. Xylar's mouth went dry. He had never seen anything like this. Creatures of this size were dangerous in most systems, but here, they followed humans as if they trusted them completely. "How do you control them?" he asked. Lena shrugged. "We don't control them. We communicate. Through sound, light, and touch, we build trust. It takes patience, but the results are remarkable." Xylar frowned. He had always believed that dominance was the key to survival. Intelligence alone was not enough. Yet these humans seemed to achieve harmony without force. They moved to another tank, this one housing a different creature, a sharkaran. Unlike the aquiliths, it was predatory in appearance, with a sleek body covered in iridescent scales, fins that cut through the water like knives, and eyes that gleamed with curiosity and caution. "This one is more difficult," Lena warned. "Sharkorans are naturally aggressive, but humans have learned to earn their trust. Watch." A signal pulsed through the water, a pattern of light and vibration. The Sharkoran paused, circling slowly. Then it approached Lena, nudging her gently before swimming alongside her in a synchronized pattern. Xylar blinked. He had expected chaos, danger, or at least resistance. Instead, he saw cooperation, understanding, and even respect. These humans had achieved what he thought impossible. They had domesticated beings far stronger and far more dangerous than themselves, without weapons, without cages, without fear. As they walked through the station, Xylar noticed more creatures. Some resembled giant squids with glowing tentacles. Others were massive turtles with shells like floating islands, and a few had shapes he could not even describe. Each responded to humans with a mixture of curiosity and obedience. Lena explained, "We have bonded with them over years. Each species has its own personality, its own intelligence. We do not force them to obey. We earn their cooperation." Xylar shook his head. "This is remarkable, but also reckless. A single mistake, and one of these creatures could destroy the station." She laughed softly. "True, but so far our mistakes have taught us more than our successes. Humans adapt quickly, and so do our pets." Just then, an alarm sounded. A young aquilith had panicked in one of the feeding bays. Its massive body thrashed against the containment field, sending waves through the water. Xylar instinctively stepped back, expecting disaster, but Lena did not panic. She approached the creature slowly, speaking in soft tones. Her hands moved in subtle gestures and her voice modulated in a rhythm that calmed the aqualith. Slowly, it settled, curling its enormous body around her as if seeking comfort. Xylar could not believe his eyes. He had seen creatures tamed with force, trained with fear, and subdued with power, but never like this. This was not domination. It was trust. And it worked. He spent hours observing, noting every detail. The way humans and ocean pets communicated, how the creatures responded to subtle signals, and how the humans adjusted when a creature acted unpredictably. Each interaction deepened his understanding, and each moment challenged his preconceived notions of intelligence, strength, and leadership. By evening, Xylar felt both amazed and uneasy. Humanity had achieved something extraordinary, something that even his most advanced civilizations had not attempted. They had formed partnerships with creatures that could easily destroy them, based not on power but on trust and communication. Before leaving, Lena led him to the observation deck overlooking the open ocean. Below, creatures of all sizes moved like a living tapestry. Some humans swam alongside them, guiding them, communicating in ways Xylar could not yet comprehend. "These are only a few of our ocean pets," Lena said. "There are more far beyond this station, and every day we discover new ways to interact with them. Humans may seem fragile, Commander, but we are persistent." Xylar stared at the scene, feeling a mixture of admiration and concern. He had traveled across the galaxy, yet he had never seen anything like this. Humanity was unpredictable, ingenious, and surprisingly courageous. As he prepared to leave the station, his communicator beeped. A message from another alien observer flashed across the screen, warning rogue predators detected near Earth's oceans. "They target intelligent aquatic life. Caution advised." Xylar's mind raced. Could these humans defend their ocean pets against such threats? He did not know. But one thing was certain, he had underestimated them. And in the coming days he would see just how far their courage and creativity could go. As he looked back at the ocean, he felt something he had not felt in centuries: curiosity. And a faint glimmer of respect. For the first time, Commander Xylar wondered if humans were not just fragile creatures surviving by luck, but a species capable of changing the rules of the galaxy itself. And in that moment, the ocean seemed to ripple with possibilities, hinting at adventures, challenges, and discoveries that would test both humans and their extraordinary ocean pets in ways no one could predict. Commander Xylar could not stop thinking about what he had seen on Oceanus Station. The aqualiths, the sharkerans, and the other ocean pets were nothing like he had imagined. They were not merely creatures to be dominated or feared. They were partners, allies, and friends to humans. And yet, the message from the other alien observer lingered in his mind. Rogue predators had been detected near Earth's oceans. The next morning, Xylar returned to the station, determined to understand more. Lena greeted him with a calm smile. "Ready for a deeper look?" she asked. "We're going to the open ocean today." Xylar's ship followed the floating city's escort vessels. Below, the vast blue stretched endlessly. Then shapes began to appear, creatures far larger than the ones he had seen in the observation domes. One glided past like a living mountain, its fins slicing the water with ease. Another shot straight up, breaching the surface in a graceful arc. These were not contained animals. They were free, intelligent, and responsive to humans from afar. Lena handed Xylar a communication device. "You'll need this. The ocean pets respond to signals we send. It's how we guide them safely and understand their behavior." He activated it, unsure what to expect. A gentle pulse of light and sound extended from the device. Almost immediately, a pod of aqualiths turned toward him, their glowing eyes tracking his movements. They moved closer, circling him as if testing his intentions. "They know you're new," Lena explained. "They're curious but cautious. You have to earn their trust." Xylar nodded, carefully mimicking the gestures Lena had shown him. Slowly, the aqualiths responded, moving in harmony with his motions. He felt a strange connection, a rhythm he had never experienced with any other species. But the moment was interrupted by an alert. A sharkoran, much larger than the ones he had seen before, had appeared near a cargo vessel. Its behavior was erratic and threatening, sending waves that rocked the human craft. Stay calm, Lena said. Watch and learn. Xylar held his breath as Lena activated her signal device. She sent a pattern of light and low-frequency pulses through the water. The Sharkhorn hesitated, circling, then slowly changed its direction. It moved closer, then stopped just short of the ship, seeming to study the humans. Finally, it swam alongside them, gliding as if it had always known its place. Xylar could not hide his astonishment. He had seen how humans controlled smaller creatures through fear, reward, or technology. But this was mutual respect and understanding, and it worked with a predator far stronger than its human companions. They continued their journey, visiting more creatures in the open ocean. Some were enormous, with tentacles that shimmered like liquid silver. Others were fast, agile, and capable of hunting in ways Xylar had never imagined. And yet, every time a human approached, every time a signal was sent, the creatures responded, not with aggression, but with cooperation. Suddenly, a shadow passed beneath the ship. Xylar leaned over the railing and froze. A massive unknown creature surged from the depths, moving faster than any ocean pet he had seen. Its eyes glowed with intelligence, and its movements were precise, almost strategic. It was not part of the station's ecosystem, and its presence sent a shiver through him. Another rogue predator, Lena said calmly, her eyes fixed on the creature. We've been expecting it. Xylar's mind raced. How can you face that without fear? She smiled softly. Because we don't rely on fear. We rely on connection. Every ocean pet we raise has its own intelligence. They know us, and they will protect us. The rogue predator circled once, twice, testing the humans. Then something incredible happened. A pod of aqualiths and several sharkrins surged toward it, moving with speed and coordination that amazed Xylar. Using patterns of light and movement, the ocean pets guided the intruder away from the station, forming a barrier that was precise and controlled. Xylar could hardly believe what he was seeing. Humans had trained creatures not by force, but by trust, and these creatures could work together to defend against a threat even the humans themselves might struggle to handle. After the danger passed, Lena turned to him. This is what humans can do when we work with nature, not against it. You might think we are small, fragile, or weak, but our strength lies in creativity, communication, and courage. Xylar felt a growing sense of admiration. These humans were nothing like the fragile creatures he had dismissed at first. They were bold, clever, and surprisingly fearless. They continued their journey deeper into the ocean. Lena introduced him to a new species, the Lumivorans, creatures that emitted soft bioluminescent patterns along their bodies. The patterns were a form of language, and humans had learned to interpret them. Through careful observation and subtle signals, Lena and her team could communicate with the Lumivorans, learning their moods, intentions, and even complex thoughts. Xylar watched as Lena conversed with one of the Lumivorans. Its glowing pattern shifted rapidly, forming a sequence that indicated curiosity, caution, and finally, trust. Xylar realized that the humans were not just controlling or taming these creatures, they were engaging in an entirely new form of diplomacy. As evening approached, the station transmitted a warning. Another rogue predator had been detected near a human research vessel. This one was larger and faster than the last. Xylar's instincts screamed to flee, but Lena prepared the station's ocean pets for action. Xylar observed as humans and their ocean pets coordinated a complex maneuver. The creatures moved in synchronized patterns, guiding the intruder away from the vessel without harm. The operation was flawless, and Xylar felt something he had never felt in his long life: awe. Finally, as the sun set and the ocean glowed with the reflected light of bioluminescent creatures, Lena turned to him. "Do you see now?" she asked gently. "Humans may be small, but we are persistent, creative, and fearless, and when we work together with trust and understanding, we can achieve what others think is impossible." Xylar remained silent, staring at the ocean below. He had come to study humanity, expecting to find weakness or chaos. Instead, he found something extraordinary: a species capable of forming deep bonds with creatures far stronger than themselves, and using those bonds to protect and thrive. For the first time in centuries, Commander Xylar felt both challenged and inspired. These humans were unpredictable, ingenious, and they had just begun to show the galaxy what they were capable of. As night fell, Xylar looked out at the ocean, illuminated by the soft glow of 1,000 ocean pets swimming gracefully. Somewhere in the depths, the rogue predator still lurked, but he no longer felt fear, only anticipation. He had much to learn from these humans, and he was eager to see what would come next. And somewhere in the vast ocean, creatures of unimaginable size and intelligence waited, ready to reveal more secrets of a world that had already surprised even the most experienced explorers of the galaxy. Commander Xylar had now spent several days aboard Oceanus Station, and every moment challenged his previous assumptions about humans. He had seen their creativity, their courage, and their unique bond with ocean pets, but nothing could have prepared him for what came next. A sudden alert shook the station. The wide monitors lit up with red warnings. Multiple rogue predators, larger and faster than any previously observed, were moving toward the station in coordinated patterns. Unlike before, this threat was organized, as if the predators themselves were communicating and planning. Xylar's instincts screamed danger. He had seen powerful creatures in his travels, but he had never witnessed anything so precise and relentless. Lena appeared at his side, calm and composed. "This is serious," she said. "But we are ready. Our ocean pets will help us manage the threat." Xylar raised an eyebrow. "Do you really trust them against something so dangerous?" Lena smiled. "It's not just trust. It's partnership. They know what to do. Watch." The station's alarms blared, and massive observation windows showed the ocean roiling with enormous shapes. Pods of aqualiths swirled around, their fins glowing in patterns designed to guide and protect. Sharkerins cut through the waves like living torpedoes, flanking the rogue predators. Even the Lumivorans contributed, sending pulses of light that confused and diverted the attackers. Xylar felt a mix of awe and disbelief. He had expected chaos, destruction, or failure. Instead, he saw coordination, intelligence, and courage. The humans did not fight alone. Their ocean pets acted as extensions of their will, guided by years of trust and understanding. Suddenly, one rogue predator surged straight toward the station. Xylar tensed, certain that destruction was imminent, but a group of Sharkorans intercepted it, forming a barrier with their massive bodies. The creature hesitated, circling the barrier, then darted away when a pod of aqualiths guided it safely out of the area. Lena turned to Xylar. "See? They understand the situation. They respond to threats faster than we can react, and they protect humans because they trust us." Xylar's mind raced. Across the galaxy, he had encountered species far stronger than humans. Yet here, a seemingly fragile species had not only tamed creatures stronger than themselves, they had coordinated them to face dangers far beyond human capability. As the rogue predators retreated temporarily, Lena explained the next phase of their plan. "We need to guide them away from the main station completely. We will split our teams. Some will focus on defense, others on diversion. And we will use the pets to control the ocean currents, making it difficult for the predators to approach safely." Xylar followed as she led him to a command hub. Humans moved with purpose, giving signals to their ocean pets. Aqualiths and Sharkorins responded immediately, forming moving walls of strength. Lumivorans created patterns of light that guided the rogue predators' movements, directing them towards safer waters. Xylar felt a growing sense of admiration. These humans were small, fragile, and seemingly delicate, but their ingenuity turned apparent weakness into a kind of power he had never seen before. The ocean pets were not simply tools, they were partners, capable of complex coordination that rivaled any military force he had encountered. The battle continued for hours. Rogue predators approached from multiple directions, testing the humans' defenses. Each time, humans and ocean pets adapted, responding with new strategies and improvisation. Xylar could not help but marvel at their courage. They were not relying on technology alone. The humans themselves were the key to success, guiding their pets with subtle gestures, light patterns, and sound signals that could influence even the most dangerous creatures. At one point, a massive rogue predator breached the surface directly beneath Xylar's observation window. Its eyes glowed with intelligence, and it seemed to measure him, assessing the threat. Xylar felt the old instincts rising, fight or flee, but he held his ground. Then an aqualith surged forward, positioning itself between the predator and the station. It emitted a soft pulse of light, followed by a ripple of sound. The rogue predator paused, then slowly turned and retreated, guided by the pattern of signals sent by the humans and their ocean pets. Xylar finally understood. This was not just a display of human courage. It was a demonstration of their ability to work with life itself, to turn creatures that could destroy them into allies. As the threat finally passed, the station was quiet, the ocean calm once more. Humans and their pets had succeeded without a single casualty. Xylar felt a strange emotion rising in his chest, a combination of respect, wonder, and something he had not experienced in centuries: hope. Lena approached him. "You've seen what humans can do when we work together, with each other and with nature. Do you understand now?" Xylar nodded slowly. "I understand that I underestimated you, that I underestimated Earth, humans, and these bonds. I have seen many civilizations, many species, but I have never seen anything like this." Lena smiled. "Good, because this is only the beginning. Humans are small, fragile, and sometimes reckless, but we are also persistent, inventive, and courageous. And our ocean pets, they are the proof that trust and understanding can be stronger than raw power." Xylar spent the night in the observation deck, staring out at the calm ocean. The rogue predators had retreated, but he knew they would return. He also knew that humans with their ocean pets were ready. They had faced the impossible and survived, not through sheer strength but through creativity, courage, and partnership. For the first time, Xylar considered Earth as something more than a small, fragile planet. It was a world of possibilities, a place where humans could change the rules, even in a galaxy that often overlooked them. Somewhere in the depths of the ocean, creatures of unimaginable size and intelligence waited. Some were loyal to humans, some were curious, and others were unknown threats. Xylar knew that the next challenges would be even greater, and the humans' true abilities would be tested. But for the first time, he did not doubt them. He realized that humans had a secret power, their ability to see potential where others saw danger, to find connection where others saw chaos, and to face fear with courage and creativity. That power, he understood, could change the galaxy in ways even he could not yet imagine. As he prepared to report his findings to his superiors, Xylar hesitated. He could warn them of the rogue predators and the unusual strength of humanity, but would they listen? Or would they dismiss Earth as just another fragile world? He was not sure. But one thing was certain: he could not leave without seeing more. He wanted to understand how far humans could go, and how far their courage and ingenuity could reach. That night, the ocean glowed softly under the moonlight. The ocean pets moved gracefully, like living constellations, illuminating the water with their bioluminescence. Xylar watched, feeling both awe and determination. Humanity had shown him something incredible, something no other species had demonstrated. They had not only survived, they had thrived, using trust, intelligence, and courage to achieve the impossible. And somewhere in the dark depths, a shadow moved, larger, faster, and smarter than any predator he had yet encountered. It was watching, waiting. And when it moved, it would test humans and their ocean pets in ways no one could predict. Xylar knew one thing for certain. He had underestimated Earth. He had underestimated humans. And the galaxy would soon learn just how remarkable this species could be. The adventure was far from over. The ocean held secrets, dangers, and challenges beyond imagination, and humanity with its ocean pets was ready to face them all. The ocean was calm, but Commander Xylar knew that peace was only temporary. The rogue predators had retreated, but they were intelligent and persistent. He had observed enough to understand that these were not ordinary threats. They were strategic, calculating, and likely to return stronger. That morning, Xylar joined Dr. Lena Royce and the Oceana station crew on the observation deck. The sun glinted off the water, casting a warm glow on the floating city. But beneath the surface, massive shapes stirred, and the station's sensors began to hum with incoming signals. "They're back," Lena said calmly, "and they're larger than before." Xylar studied the displays. 3 massive rogue predators were moving in coordinated patterns. Their speed and precision suggested intelligence rivaling that of some advanced species he had encountered. But Lena's ocean pets were already preparing. Aqualiths formed protective pods, Sharkarans moved in patrols, and Lumivorans created shifting patterns of light in the water to confuse and guide the predators. "Humans rely on creativity, not strength," Lena explained. "Our ocean pets are extensions of our strategy. We coordinate, adapt, and respond together. Xylar watched in awe. He had trained armies of warriors and commanded fleets of warships across countless galaxies. But he had never seen such precise cooperation between species. The human's courage combined with the pet's intelligence formed something far greater than the sum of its parts. The rogue predators surged forward, their enormous bodies cutting through the water with terrifying speed. The station rocked as waves crashed against its supports. Xylar gripped the railing, his eyes fixed on the unfolding battle. Lena raised her hand and a signal pulsed through the ocean. The aqualiths responded instantly, forming a moving barrier between the predators and the station. Sharkorans darted around, guiding the predators' movements, while Lumivorans illuminated paths that subtly directed them away from the station. One predator, larger than the rest, charged directly toward the docking bay where supply ships were moored. Xylar felt his pulse quicken. If it reached the ships, it could destroy the station's logistics and put countless lives at risk. "Watch closely," Lena said. She activated a coordinated signal, sending light pulses and low-frequency vibrations. The massive aqualiths surged forward, aligning themselves in a protective formation. The rogue predator paused, hesitating as it felt the force of the coordinated signals. Then, guided by the human's subtle directions, it shifted course and swam alongside the aqualiths, diverted away from the station. Xylar could hardly believe what he was seeing. Humans were not dominating these creatures, they were communicating, directing, and working with them. And the result was far more effective than any brute force he had ever witnessed. The battle intensified. More rogue predators approached from different directions, testing the limits of the human's coordination. But each time the ocean pets responded. A Sharkoran intercepted a predator that tried to breach the surface, nudging it with precision to redirect its path. A group of Lumivorans created dazzling light patterns that confused another predator, causing it to circle harmlessly in the open ocean. Xylar felt a strange mix of fear and admiration. He had encountered countless threats in his lifetime, but he had never seen a species face danger with such calm, focus, and innovation. Humans were fragile, yes, but their courage, ingenuity, and ability to inspire loyalty in creatures far larger and stronger than themselves gave them power he could not ignore. Suddenly, an enormous shadow passed beneath the station. A creature larger than any he had seen approached with terrifying speed. The water churned violently and the station trembled. Xylar knew that if this predator reached the main platforms, it could crush structures and endanger lives. "Prepare the countermeasure pods," Lena commanded. Humans and ocean pets worked in perfect synchronization. Aqualiths surged forward, forming a living wall. Sharkorans patrolled the flanks. Lumivorans emitted pulses of bioluminescent patterns that communicated complex instructions to every ocean pet in the vicinity. The rogue predator paused as it approached the wall of aqualiths, testing the human's defense. Then it lunged, powerful tentacles lashing through the water. One massive aqualith intercepted it, curling around the predator's limb with a precision that minimized harm while redirecting its momentum. The other pets moved to reinforce the barrier, forming a shifting, dynamic shield. Xylar was stunned. This was not just a defense, it was an art form. Humans had turned survival into collaboration, courage into strategy, and trust into a force stronger than raw strength. As the rogue predator retreated temporarily, Lena approached Xylar. "Do you see it now? Humans do not fight alone. We fight with our minds, with our creativity, and with the bonds we form with other life. That is our power." Xylar nodded slowly. He had seen countless species use brute force, technology, or numbers to overcome challenges, but never such elegant coordination. Humans were fragile in body, yes, but their ingenuity, courage, and ability to inspire loyalty made them extraordinary. Night fell over the ocean, but the battle was not over. Rogue predators lingered in the depths waiting for another opportunity. Humans and their ocean pets patrolled tirelessly, maintaining watch and preparing for any new threat. Xylar remained on the observation deck, studying the interactions, recording every detail, and realizing that humanity had something unique, a combination of bravery, innovation, and empathy that could turn the odds in their favor. Then, the sensors detected movement beyond the known rogue predators. Something new, a creature larger, faster, and more intelligent than any previously observed, was approaching. It moved with purpose, and Xylar recognized the signs of strategic thinking. This was not a random threat. This was an intelligent predator assessing the humans and their ocean pets. "Prepare for engagement," Lena said, her voice steady. "This will be our ultimate test." Xylar's eyes widened. He had studied countless civilizations, faced innumerable threats, but this was unlike anything he had ever seen. Yet he felt no fear for the humans. He felt admiration and cautious hope. As the new predator neared, the ocean pets reacted immediately. Pods of aqualiths formed protective rings around the station. Sharkorans moved with unmatched speed, and lumivorans created patterns of light that communicated strategies in real time. Humans coordinated every movement, guiding their pets with precision and confidence. Xylar realized something profound. Humans had not only survived the galaxy, they had mastered cooperation in ways even older species could not. Their strength was not in size or weapons, but in creativity, courage, and the bonds they could form with life itself. The massive predator surged forward, testing the defenses. But the combined force of humans and ocean pets held firm. It attacked and retreated, but each maneuver was met with careful, intelligent countermeasures. Hours passed, and Xylar watched in awe as humans and creatures moved as one, a living network of strategy and courage. By dawn, the predator finally retreated, seemingly convinced that these humans were not to be trifled with. The station and its inhabitants had survived thanks to trust, ingenuity, and unbreakable bonds with the ocean pets. Lena turned to Xylar, her eyes reflecting the soft light of the ocean. "Do you understand now? Humans are fragile, yes, but we are fearless when we work together. And our ocean pets, they are not just creatures. They are partners. They are family." Xylar nodded slowly. He had come to Earth thinking he had seen everything. But now he knew he had only begun to understand humanity's true potential. They were small, fragile, and unassuming, but capable of facing threats that would destroy larger, stronger civilizations. As he looked out at the glowing ocean, dotted with bioluminescent creatures moving gracefully in the depths, Xylar felt something he had not felt in centuries: hope. Humanity had proven itself not by brute strength, but by courage, creativity, and connection. And somewhere in the vast, dark ocean, other creatures watched, waiting, curious, and perhaps ready to challenge humanity once more. Xylar knew that the next encounter would test humans further, but he was certain of one thing. No matter what came from the depths, humanity and their ocean pets would face it together, and they would survive. The galaxy had underestimated humans. He never would again. The ocean was restless, glowing faintly with the bioluminescent patterns of countless ocean pets. Commander Xylar stood at the observation deck of Oceanus Station, his eyes scanning the depths. The rogue predators had returned, and this time, they were more numerous and coordinated than ever before. But he no longer felt fear for the humans. What he felt was admiration, and a growing certainty that humanity had something no other species in the galaxy possessed: courage, ingenuity, and the ability to inspire loyalty across species. Dr. Lena Royce approached, calm yet alert. "This is the ultimate test," she said. "We've prepared for every scenario we can imagine, but this one will push us further than before. Our ocean pets are ready, and so are we." Xylar studied the reports. The rogue predators were larger, faster, and smarter than anything previously encountered. Sensors detected coordinated movements as if they were planning attacks, probing weaknesses in the station's defenses. But humans had learned to adapt quickly, and their ocean pets were their greatest allies. "Humans rely on creativity," Lena said, reading his thoughts, "not brute force. We work with life, not against it. And we always find a solution." Xylar nodded slowly. He had seen the courage and ingenuity humans displayed in the previous attacks, and he had come to respect them deeply. But this challenge would determine if humanity's bonds with their ocean pets were strong enough to withstand the ultimate threat. The rogue predators emerged from the depths like shadows of steel and water, moving faster than the eye could follow. The station trembled as waves crashed against its supports. Humans activated the communication devices, sending signals to the ocean pets. Aqualiths surged forward, forming barriers, while Sharkorans patrolled the flanks. Lumivorans emitted patterns of light that coordinated movements across the entire defense grid. Xylar watched, astonished at the precision. Humans and their pets moved as one, a living network of strategy and courage. The rogue predators tested every defense, But each move was met with a calculated response. A Sharkoran intercepted a charging predator, nudging it with precision to redirect its path. A pod of aqualiths formed a living shield, blocking the predator's advance while guiding it safely away from the station. Hours passed, and the battle intensified. Rogue predators attacked from all directions, their speed and strength relentless. But humans adapted, using creativity and coordination to overcome the odds. They shifted strategies on the fly, using the ocean pets to manipulate currents, create barriers, and confuse the predators. At one critical moment, a massive rogue predator lunged directly at the station's docking bay, threatening to destroy supply ships and endanger lives. Xylar held his breath. If it succeeded, the station could be crippled. Lena activated a precise sequence of signals, and the ocean pets responded instantly. Aqualith surged forward, curling around the predator to redirect its momentum. Sharkorans blocked its path with speed and strength. Lumivorans created a dazzling light display, confusing the predator and guiding it away from the station. The maneuver was flawless, and the predator retreated into the depths. Xylar realized that this was not mere survival. This was mastery. Humans had turned what could have been a catastrophic threat into an opportunity to demonstrate courage, ingenuity, and cooperation. As the battle continued, Xylar observed something remarkable. The ocean pets were not simply following commands. They were anticipating, adapting, and thinking creatively. The humans had trained them well, but the trust and mutual respect between species allowed the creatures to act independently, making split-second decisions that kept both humans and themselves safe. Finally, the rogue predators began to retreat. One by one, they disappeared into the depths, defeated not by force but by strategy, coordination, and the bonds between humans and their ocean pets. The station trembled slightly as the last waves passed, but it had survived intact, a testament to the ingenuity and courage of its inhabitants. Lena turned to Xylar, her expression calm but proud. "Do you understand now?" she asked. "Humans are fragile in body, yes, but we are fearless when we work together. We turn threats into opportunities, challenges into triumphs. And our ocean pets, they are not just creatures. They are partners. They are family." Xylar nodded slowly. He had seen countless species, civilizations, and threats. He had faced countless dangers in his long career, but he had never seen anything like this. Humans were small and fragile, yet their courage, creativity, and ability to inspire loyalty gave them a kind of power that no weapon or army could match. He stepped to the observation window, looking out at the glowing ocean. Ocean pets swam gracefully in the calm waters, bioluminescent trails painting patterns like constellations. Humans moved among them, communicating through gestures, signals, and subtle touches. The bonds were clear, unbreakable, and astonishing. Xylar thought back to the first moment he had seen an aqualith wrap around Lena during a panic. At the time, he had been skeptical, thinking it a simple trick or training. But now he understood. This was not control. It was trust, understanding, and cooperation on a level he had never encountered. Humans and their ocean pets had faced the impossible and triumphed together. That night, the station transmitted a final report to Earth. The rogue predators had been driven away, and the ocean pets had performed flawlessly. Humans had survived, and more than that, they had thrived, turning danger into an opportunity to demonstrate courage and ingenuity. Xylar felt a strange sense of awe. He had underestimated humans. He had doubted their ability to face challenges far beyond their size and strength. But now he knew the truth. Humans were extraordinary. Their courage, creativity, and bonds with life itself gave them power that could change the galaxy. He turned to Lena. "I have seen much in my lifetime," he said quietly. "But never have I witnessed a species face danger with such elegance, courage, and intelligence. You have shown me what it truly means to survive and to thrive." Lena smiled. "This is only the beginning. Humanity will face many more challenges, and our ocean pets will be by our side. Together we can achieve the impossible." Xylar nodded. He realized that Earth was not a fragile planet to be dismissed. It was a world of possibilities, a place where courage, creativity, and cooperation could turn even the greatest threats into triumphs. Somewhere in the depths of the ocean, shadows still lingered, creatures that were curious, cautious, or waiting for another opportunity. But Xylar no longer felt fear. He had seen humanity in action. He had seen what they could achieve. And he knew that no matter what came, humans and their ocean pets would face it together, and they would succeed. For the first time in centuries, Xylar felt true hope. The galaxy might underestimate humans, but he never would again. They were clever, persistent, and fearless. And with courage, creativity, and trust, they could survive anything. As dawn broke over the calm ocean, the bioluminescent trails of the ocean pets faded with the light, leaving a serene, glowing calm. Xylar looked out at the horizon, knowing that humanity's story was far from over. They had faced the impossible and triumphed, proving that even the smallest species could achieve greatness through courage, intelligence, and bonds that transcended the ordinary. The ocean, full of life, mystery, and possibility, stretched endlessly before him, and Commander Xylar, once certain he had seen everything the galaxy had to offer, now realized that humanity, and its extraordinary ocean pets, still had countless surprises waiting to reveal. The galaxy would take notice, and for the first time, Xylar felt certain that humans, with their courage, ingenuity, and trust in life itself, would leave a mark that no predator, threat, or challenge could erase.